Welcome to That's Personal. We take everything personal. My name is Chris, and here with me as always is
Nathan. What's going on, guys?
we are joined here today with
Today. We're gonna leave that in.
that word slips out really
Nope,
quick,
We're
bro.
gonna leave that in.
All the time.
That stays in.
Today we're here today with Louie. Welcome back, brother.
All right, yeah, man, I'm glad to be back. I'll try to be here as often as possible.
Why you laughing, bro?
That's so funny. I'm glad to have you, man, dude. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to have you. So, I guess do you want to? Well, whatever. So we saw Batman.
Yeah, as you can tell from the 10 posts you did on
from the 10. Hey, why you roasting?
I'm kidding.
you're
Yeah, he's trying to build excitement.
Exactly.
Trying to build excitement.
I was excited.
Marketing team right here.
Yeah, exactly.
One man
I was
marketing.
thinking I was about what I don't want to talk
I
about.
hope so. I hope you
I
brought
really
it.
was. I was taking a shower today, and I was like, "Oh man, you know what? I'm thinking about what am I gonna say about the movie?
You're thinking about Batman in the shower?
That was a sexy movie.
It was a sexy movie. A lot of sexy people in it.
A lot of sex people, and I agree. So we saw Batman. We went on I guess it was opening night, right? Yeah, it was the night it released, the official release night, whatever. So we went, and we had a good little time. Got everybody together and got a chance to go watch it. I guess we can. I don't know who wants to start it off.
I guess we can talk about it like really spoiler free.
Oh yeah, absolutely right.
Because I know in here we tend to spoil things.
Yes.
But
I mean, it's been 2 days. No,
yeah,
just
that's true, bro. Come on now. This comes.
I was
I was
just
about
gonna-
to say, by the time this comes out, it'll be opening weekend.
Come on now.
That's true.
Because this is opening weekend, technically, while we're recording this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, spoiler free.
we'll still
Spoiler
do.
free is
Yeah,
good.
I was about to say,
We-
we'll
you
still
know,
do spoiler free.
We'll be
professional.
in our ratings.
Yeah, absolutely. So, whoever wants to start it off can start it off.
So let's start with Chris. Let's go.
Oh, I have a lot to talk about.
He's
Now.
on there. Mine.
So, okay, I have a little bit to go. I'm not gonna go through what I normally do and go through the whole thing.
Who do you think liked it more? They can start first.
Like out of us, like it
Yeah.
more?
I think I enjoyed it the most
You go talk about it.
because I'm not as critical of a comic book person, a superhero person like Nate or Chris is, I think. And also I think Chris is just very critical of art in general. Or just anything in general.
Yeah, my critiques weren't on like the comic book aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because I really liked it. It was more of like the writing.
The writing. Yeah, the writing.
writing.
Yeah. I think I enjoyed the movie. The more I think about it, like when I was watching the movie, I was like, there's something odd. I think I mentioned something
Yeah,
off.
when the movie ended, we all looked at each other like,
We don't know if we wanted to enjoy it or not. But the more I've been able to process it,
Fuck. Sorry. I'm sorry.
the more I've been able to like think about, what parts I enjoyed of it. I think it was a very entertaining movie. I think it was shot well, so it looked good. I think they did a lot of interesting things with a superhero movie that we don't normally see. They made it an entertaining, good movie. But then there are things that are kind of corny, but I mean, or kind of like cliche.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it, I think, a little bit of what Chris said, the writing. But I mean, other than it wasn't bad enough to where it ruined the movie.
No,
And
yeah, I
also I
agree.
think the acting was pretty good.
oh yeah, everybody really was on their game.
I agree. Yeah.
And then I wasn't lying when I said it was a sexy movie.
No, it really was.
It was a really like a lot of sexual tension.
Hey, I felt that a lot too.
The whole
Yeah.
movie felt like sexual tension, and with every character. And there's only really one female character,
For real.
but there was a lot of sexual tension.
I want to say Zoe Kravitz. She did. her
Oh
thing,
yeah,
bro.
bro.
Zoe Kravitz is very
She
attractive.
did her
yeah.
thing. I love Anne Hathaway, but
I love Anne Hathaway's
I'm about to say
Catwoman, too.
respect to Anne Hathaway, bro. Zoe Kravitz did her thing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And Chelsea was saying that her hair didn't need to be short. Like she was talking about her image wise. That she didn't. I'm not gonna lie. Everything about her,
I loved
had.
it.
I had no complaints.
But
I
she
like-
wore
I
like
liked
wigs
her-
too.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
But I'm
so she
saying,
looked different
I
a
had
lot
no
of times.
complaints about her. Like her, like the sex appeal for her. Not to cut you out. Her.
It was
like,
there.
It was there.
Yeah.
I felt
Yeah,
it.
so I think that was one thing that was different from the movie. I also felt like it was a overall theme. I wouldn't even put it in a superhero movie like category.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only thing that made it a superhero movie was that it was Batman and he wore a suit. Like, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they before the movie came out, they were saying like if you really like noir
That's what I was gonna say.
type investigation
Yeah.
Noir,
movies,
yeah.
that's how this one's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's very much it was giving me
Yar, see?
Vice. What's that? Sin City?
Yeah.
Sin City vibes.
Yeah.
You know how that movie Sin City was like dark noir, obviously.
Yeah.
And the way it was shot kind of mimicked. It wasn't in black and white or anything, but the way it was shot, it was kind of like that. And I enjoyed that aspect of it. I think it kind of felt like a psychological thriller or a crime drama more than a superhero movie.
Yeah,
which is not a knock on it. It was a good version of that.
All right.
You know, but I would say it's not what people normally get from a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. Yeah, I would say I agree. I think that it was very. I don't know. The only thing I guess I wouldn't say is that at the end I didn't feel like we talked about this yesterday because I think it's a movie that you need to sit with for a little bit. Maybe watch again. Maybe not. It's 3 hours, but like I do think that the 3 hours definitely went by pretty quick.
Yeah, the pacing was fine.
Yeah, I didn't have any moments where I'm like, fuck, this is not like. I was watching a bunch of videos, you know, we joked about it, but I watched a bunch of videos about it and breakdowns. And one thing that I did enjoy was that almost every scene in the movie from a little bit towards the beginning and then when it jumps in, every scene has Batman. There's not a scene, almost like no scenes without Batman. As far as like he's in the frame or he's around or like this is a Batman movie, it's going in that way, you know, and it doesn't feel like it's like all in your mouth. Like it's just flows well.
I do think what you were saying about damn, I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's okay.
No, what you were saying.
Yeah, me too.
What you were saying about it, a movie that you have to sit with.
Yeah.
And I think I said it before we started recording. Like, man, the more I thought about it, because I was like, oh, we're gonna talk about it. The more I thought about it, like, man, actually, that's a good thing that they did that. You know.
Yeah.
And the reason why it is, I think, like that, because it doesn't have a lot of cheap, like
gimmicky stuff.
Gimmicky stuff that I feel like, honestly, it was not a Marvel movie, right? It's DC.
No, DC.
No. Just making sure I don't sound dumb on here. But like Marvel, as of recent, has and like Disney,
they're kind of hacky.
Yeah, and Disney, like those was my complaints about the Mandalorian, the second season, and other stuff like that. Was how they just relied so much on nostalgia. Yeah. And they just said, oh, like the only good thing about that episode was that X character showed up. Mm-hmm. And other than that, the character had no excitement. I mean, the show had no excitement other than when the character showed up. And it's just like, oh, nostalgia. Oh, he's here. We know what that means. And the Batman didn't do that. It didn't rely on any cheap gimmicks of showing a clip of a certain character that everybody's going to go crazy for or none of that. It was just...
It wasn't like fan service.
I'm going to come in here. I'm going to... You know, do what I do and not, like I said, not have like these cheap gimmick things to sell records or to sell movie tickets and all that stuff. I'm going to do a good movie. It's a good movie, but it's something that is, you know, it has a acquired taste. It's like wine. It's like more sophisticated than a regular.
The only thing that I would say, I agree. The only thing I would say is that it was kind of fan service and it kind of wasn't. Only because they went off on a completely different route than I think we've seen with Batman that we have seen in all of the animateds, but not have seen in live action, which like, that's why I give my hats off to Matt Reeves, the director, because he took a very different approach to the character and definitely, and like with Robert Pattinson too, him taking such a different approach. Because that's one thing, and again, these are all, we're staying completely spoiler free, but he was very like intuitive the entire movie. He was definitely paying attention. Like he was solving stuff throughout the entire movie. Like he knew, and even in other stuff, like he would kind of not figure it out, but he's still kind of always on the ball. You know, like we talked about the fighting, we talked about a lot of different stuff that we liked, that we enjoyed, but I know I see a lot of people talking about his just his like detective skills. They're very appreciative of that.
They're basically on display.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one thing that I guess I did throughout that I had no complaints and I really enjoyed was all the shots, all the visual, all the soundtrack. I don't think it was a good movie. I don't think it like surpassed Dark Knight Rises, but I did see somebody, and I agree that you have to take that out. Well, I'm saying you take that out and like you think about today.
They're all different films,
right?
I think it's definitely the most sophisticated of all the Batmans than the Nolan trilogy.
Yeah, he's probably the smartest Batman.
And it just, I think if you liked like the Joker, I think it was very similar in that same realm of like type of movie that it was. I mean, I think it was better than the Joker.
You know what it gave me though? Joker, it gave me like I just watched it the day before yesterday. I watched it recently.
That's when we watched.
I was about to say I watched it recently. No, I watched Watchmen, and it kind of gave me Watchmen vibes
noir,
a little bit. Right, but that's what I'm saying in that style. But overall, I think that I actually want to watch it again. I'll watch it again at some point, but I do think that it was I wasn't just because remember I kept telling you that I was going to be scared that I was going to be disappointed with the movie. Like I just was worried that something wasn't gonna meet the standards, or something was gonna fall short, or something. And at the end, I kept thinking, all right, I'm okay with this. But one thing I don't like, which I guess we can dive in after you give yours, Chris, is I don't like how people are giving a little too much credit to it, like too much gas.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's one of those things where you instantly go, oh, this is a classic.
No.
This is a classic.
No.
But it's definitely something that I think that eventually will be like looked back upon, because they're obviously going to make more.
I was
right?
going to say, when you put it in a
Yeah, they're
trilogy,
making a trilogy.
It's gonna
when
be
you
like,
put it in
oh,
a
yeah,
trilogy,
yeah.
because I asked you this in the theater, did you think that how does it line up to Batman Begins? And Batman Begins is a good first
Really
movie.
good movie.
Yeah, but in the
And I'm
moment,
like, okay, but this is a good movie too. But it's like, okay, if you have all three and you combine them, because the Nolan trilogy combined, you're like, oh fuck, those are good movies.
Mm-hmm.
But you have this, and it's like, okay, think of it like it's in its infancy.
because there's so much. It's already so much to compare
Yeah.
to that it's hard to get
Yeah.
a real scale on
And
it.
I think they did a good job with what they had, because
What they wanted to do.
Well, you have to think about it. You've seen and again, no spoilers. You've seen in Nolan's, you've seen like a more polished and then an older Batman as he goes on. In Ben Affleck, he's a like older whatever, like he's already been Batman, and then this one is
he's
more,
a young,
yeah,
he's a young Batman,
right. He's a
because
fresh.
he's probably like in
He's
his
year
20s.
two. Yeah, he's like
I
25.
think
Yeah.
it's 20s because, based on when his parents were killed. And I think it said 2002, so they modernized it. I think they did a really good job modernizing a lot of the stuff, but we can't talk about it because it's going to be spoilers. But maybe
Right.
we'll touch on it later on.
No, we'll touch on it later.
But one thing that I think maybe you guys didn't notice, and you're probably not going to get this comparison, but one of the things that I really thought that I wanted to compare it to was American Me. Have you ever seen the movie American Me?
How did you get that comparison?
Because you know how over the whole movie he's talking over it.
Oh yeah, he's like
He's
narrating.
narrating.
He's narrating
journal.
it, and it's like a journal. So I think it does a real good job to set up a trilogy.
Can I be honest with you? I didn't like the narration thing.
I liked it because
I liked it.
it gives you more of an insight, and it seems like a journal, like you're going, like it's setting something up.
That gave me the noir vibes of the narration.
Yeah,
That's
and then
very noir.
on American Me is like he's telling you a story of all his life, like right before he dies or whatever, and then he's like rhyming or whatever, and it's kind of funny and it's kind of corny, but that's kind of what the vibes it gave me of Batman narrating everything that's going on, and he's talking about it, and he has a realization of what he's supposed to be going forward.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great job. It's a very good tool that they use to make the movie like a setup without having to go
Force things
and have like extremely fast pacing to where like, hey, where the hell, how the hell did we get here? It's like, oh, this is happening, and then he's also explaining it at the same time.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, we know we don't feel lost. We don't feel like the movie's too slow. We don't feel like the movie's too fast in pacing. So I think they did a good job in that as a setup movie. you
Yeah.
know?
So what did you think, Chris?
I think as a whole, I did enjoy it. Very entertaining. I like the whole comic book stuff. Like he's finally a detective, which we never really saw.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a spoiler to say he's a detective because
No.
I think they've been said that
They've
before
said it
the
a
movie.
thousand
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
So and then in the Nolan films, he does one detective thing that I can remember:
I don't want to talk about
a
that.
fingerprint on a bullet.
I don't talk about that.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
Make any sense, yeah.
What about the fingerprints on the case?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one on
That's
the
the one.
bullet casing.
No, on the case of like where Anne Hathaway steals his stuff.
And
And what about the
My man's no.
what about
No.
the hacking of all the phones to create?
But that that was detective
That's
stuff.
technology. He has
That was just
technology.
like-
But he's using
Fox
technology.
made it.
All right, whatever.
yeah.
No, this is like detective stuff where he makes like finds clues and
right.
solves puzzles because it's like the Riddler. I really like the take on the Riddler as well because like it's not like he's overly like the Jim Carrey one. That's what
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it that much because I don't want
Yeah.
to give away what happens.
too much stuff.
But they modernized it to where it's like almost a realistic
It can
type
happen.
of something that could happen and something that's realistic, as in that's how acts of terror occur or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
someone's terrorizing the place, and I think it was a really good fit to modernize a villain like him as opposed to like Joker, because I like obviously props to
The actor.
the Joker.
Oh,
Heath Ledger's
Ledger,
Joker,
yeah.
and he did a great job being that Joker. But you guys know that that's not my favorite Batman villain from the Nolan trilogy. Like I really like
Yeah,
Bane
Bane.
better.
Yeah.
And so, but because I think it just matched up, and I think the Joker is kind of overdone in most of the media, that you can't really make it to like a realistic
Yeah.
type
Mhm.
thing.
But finish. What were you saying? That you said you.
I really like the performance of the Riddler. I liked him in another movie called Prisoners, which he was like played like a creepy,
Sure.
kind of scary, like a weird looking guy, you know.
He plays a really good. We talked about that.
He was really
before.
good, so he fit the role perfectly.
Yeah.
But my issue was like a lot of writing stuff, like stuff kind of didn't make sense.
You talking about in Batman?
Yeah, in Batman, and it was just like I think these decisions could have like I don't know, they just felt a little.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah.
There was like not only just that instance, like there was a couple of stuff in there where I was just like, this could have been I think like thought out a little bit better.
I think the ending they kind of the ending was a little sloppy.
Yeah, the ending was a little sloppy
because it was like 3 times where I was like, okay, this is
like
the
final
end.
like the final act, the third act was kind of like
it was gonna be like, all right, this is the end of the movie, and they're like, oh no, here's some more, and then they'd be like, oh, no, there's some more.
And then another thing
like
too,
3 times.
Another thing too is like I kind of didn't have like there was no payoff for me like at the end. I don't want to like say like what, but I don't know. I was kind of disappointed how it wrapped up. But
I think that's why they do that because to set up.
Well, not even just that. I think like the way the movie intended to go to have like a climax ending.
Yeah.
I feel like the climax ending was kind of
anticlimactic.
So the only thing I will say to that, and I guess it's kind of weird, right? Because you're seeing Batman in they could revamp it or scrap this, whatever. But I guess comparing, and I hate that I have to do this, but like comparing it to Nolan's things, right? He wrote every movie as it was going to be the only one. So Batman Begins was written as it was only going to be one movie.
Yeah, they do have an ending, kind of,
but you're just like, you know. And then like obviously when they got to the second one, he plays with you, but he's like, I'm never going to do another one. This is the second one, I'm done. Then they begged him to come back for the third, but this one, I don't know. I feel like you have 3 hours of a pretty lengthy, like it's a lengthy movie. It has a lot because like you said, I kept thinking the same thing, like. Fuck, is this the end? You know, like you're thinking because you're like, well,
I check my watch. See, I was like, how long have we been here?
Because at a good point, at a good portion of it, there's so much going on, and then you go, oh fuck, Riddler's still in the movie, right? Because you forget. And I'm not spoiling. You're just like, damn, there's still other shit going on. You're like, golly, like, and everyone did act their ass off. Like everybody put in a really.
Did y'all like the Riddler?
I liked him. I liked the Riddler.
I liked him. I liked how, and again. I'm just being
he's
honest.
In the trailer and everything.
I was gonna say we're not. I just liked how everything almost. This is like my own thing. I liked how almost everything wasn't like perfect, right? Like some things were kind of like with Batman, the how he would fight, or how his suit was, or how the Riddler
was more realistic
wasn't right. It was like it's beginner, so he's not wearing the stupid question. Like he's just doing little things. Yeah. Batman, some of his shit is not perfect. He might fuck up. It had his moments. Where
I think when you come to like good guys and villains, and you can do superhero stuff. You can go one or two ways. You can go superhero-y, where it's like powers, like where superheroes have powers, and et cetera. And like there's ones where you can go kind of like more Batman, more grounded, more realistic. Like Batman is because he doesn't have superpowers, and so he's not facing a dude that shoots lasers out of his eyes or has can snap his fingers and have all his magic stones and all this other stuff. He's just
it's more psychological stuff.
It's more realistic. Like he's battling and he's going against these guys who have just regular everyday guys. So I think it's better.
Yeah,
I think it's better that way. It fits Batman more. And so with the Riddler, he was like someone who was basically a terrorist, and that's kind of how all Batman's characters are. They try to terrorize the city or whatever, and they set bombs and they kill people and they do kind of. Especially that's why I think it's a good job to have the Riddler as this character for this Batman, because he's a psychological guy. He makes clues and like Zodiac killers type stuff.
That's where they took a lot of
it kind of gave me that vibe too. So and then he's trying to figure out they're basically outmaneuvering themselves.
So
it's like in a game. If you've ever played Arkham Knight, the Arkham games, the Riddler it's kind of like the same. I would say I'll compare them kind of.
But the reason why I say it's good is because. And the other Batman with the Riddler's in it, Jim Carrey, he's like a flamboyant character, and that doesn't really.
That's just more dramatized.
But that doesn't. That fits more into the other kind of superhero movies. When this guy is a regular guy who just has mental issues,
I would compare him to Enigma from the Gotham series.
And I think it was really cool because I think it fit a lot of Gotham style, like how they did it. And I watched the first few seasons of Gotham. And
the first few seasons were good.
And, really good. I thought it was a very similar style as
last ones were ass. Last 2, 3.
But I always liked a lot of the villains from Gotham, like Enigma or whatever.
Enigma, yeah.
Enigma, and which is the Riddler.
Enigma.
Watch the
I said Ed.
That's
his name, Edward.
Slightly racist. So one thing I will say that I did notice that I enjoyed I guess we can talk about the characters without ruining the story. A
lot of the characters showed up on the trailer.
No, they did. But one person I really did enjoy that I was like, I like him, was Jim Gordon.
Oh, Jim Gordon was
Dude, I thought he was really
Jim Gordon
good.
was
Because he was more involved than I feel like he's been in any of the other movies.
Was he better than the other Jim Gordon?
I don't know.
What Jim Gordon?
I
The
think
one
he
from
The
Nolan?
Dark
Nolan.
Knight. From Nolan.
Nolan, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you?
I agree.
I think he can be better. I don't know that he's
Well,
better.
he hasn't had enough.
Well, because gave him 3 movies. Not
Yeah. Because by the end, like, bro, Gordon from the Nolan series, like, you know, when he's like Robin showing up and he's like, he has the shotgun on, he's like, clear the corners, rookie. It's like, dude, that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just has that. But even this new one, I really like that actor because he's from Westworld.
Yeah.
And I freaking
Jeffrey,
loved,
right?
yes, I loved him in Westworld. He's been in other stuff too, but like, because also he was in, he voiced What If, the What If series of Marvel.
Oh, did he?
He was the voice for it, yeah. But I just think overall, we didn't give our overall ratings.
Oh, also, I listened to the audiobook before the...
Oh, you did say that.
Yeah, so it was kind of nice. A little setup to... If you can watch it or listen to it or buy the book, it's like 2 hours long.
Who's it narrated by?
It
Was it narrated by...
I say narrated pretty good by some
person, yeah.
But he does like the voices of every character, so it's kind of cool.
Oh.
It's 2 hours long. I watched it like while I was working. Listened to it while I was working.
2 hours?
Yeah. Fuck. So it just gives
It's
you like
not a lot of time.
No, it's not a lot. I finished it like in a day.
Yeah,
like 2 hours. I finished in 2 hours.
Yeah, in a day.
Oh, shit.
Good Lord. 2 days?
It's 2 hours long. I finished it in 2 hours.
Good Lord.
No, it just gives you like a little backstory. Like it's not like you don't have to listen to it, but it gives you more like perspective on like how
insight.
Yeah, like how like what led up to the movie. So I mean that was kind of cool. But listening to it, and it's kind of like it makes me kind of sways my opinion on the movie. Kind of makes it a little
better. Or it's not what it was.
I get more critical now because it's like I kind of don't like how that happened.
Oh, some of the storyline.
Yeah,
the storyline. I don't think the story. I didn't mind the story, the whole story and how they pushed it and stuff. I didn't think it was bad. I was like, oh, like it
just wasn't exemplary.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was perfect, but I think it was almost like they wanted to be a little unpolished because they're like, you have to remember this guy isn't.
He's like gritty.
Yeah, he's not 5-year Batman. He's year 2 Batman. You're kind of watching him.
Yeah, because if you think about it, there is a character development at the beginning where he says the little tagline.
Yeah,
I'm such and such and da da da.
Wait, so
and what he was trying to do with the Batman, right? And then at the end of the movie, he has a realization that everything that he was doing before that is the wrong thing. And so now he's gonna change because he's gonna be something else.
Spoiler. You know? Yeah.
Not a spoiler.
Yeah.
You talking a little too much.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's a difference.
Right. We can't. All right.
No, but I saw this thing. It said like in the Nolan series that he's a young Batman too.
Okay, so
he's not Batman for a long time.
In Batman Begins,
he's not a Batman.
Yeah, he's like
in Begins. 20s. He's still kind of getting his by the second movie. He's already been a little bit like he's more been. In the game
but second movie, but the first movie, he's still a new Batman.
Yeah, no, he is, but he's pretty fucking cold for a new Batman.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
and also he starts off with like a hell of artillery with all that shit.
Because he was moving deep in the League of Shadows.
Because he owns Bruce Wayne Industries, so I mean,
that's true.
They could have done like this. I don't want to talk about it. But
yeah, we don't have to. Yeah, we don't. This will obviously be stuff for later episode. But I think
the Batmobile,
huh?
Hard. The Batmobile.
Yeah, dude, the Batmobile was. Hey, I saw a thing about, and this is not because this is in the trailer. The scene where he goes through the fire. That's a real scene. Matt Reeves was saying that actually. Car? Yeah, that's the. Dude, he's like that whole scene was real. He's like people keep thinking like, oh, how much CGI? He's like, no. When he goes through the fire, he's like going after. He's like, that's legit.
Since this isn't a trailer, I'm gonna talk about it. He killed all them people.
No, he didn't. Not everybody.
Them people died.
Oh, people in the trucks died.
It blew up.
Okay,
the trailer.
The people in the trucks died.
He killed all those people. He killed all the people because he didn't have to chase.
Okay, hold on. Stop. We're not gonna talk about the morality of him. Relax.
I'm just saying.
What are we talking about?
He's talking about he killed a lot of people
in the car chase. Trailer.
Oh, that's how it was. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it was nice. It was long.
Can I be honest with you?
He killed everybody.
Can I be honest with you? That Batmobile, I love the original Batmobile, but that Batmobile was. I'm not mad at it.
No,
it's cool, and it's like not a makeshift one, but it's like it's the process of being made.
Yeah, he's working on it.
There's a few scenes
in the book it explains everything on the car. Like it has a whole backstory.
Okay, I was gonna say, but
there's a few
there's
scenes where it's in the background with like the engine showing and there's like car
Yeah, he
parts
shows
on the
the parts.
table. Yeah,
Should I spoil a book?
yeah, spoil it.
It's a book. It's not. The
I don't
movie.
think it
No, I'm
matters.
just kidding.
No, it's a book. It's not the movie.
Oh fuck! It's a phone call. I thought they would line. My bad.
It's the book, not the movie. So pretty much, Bruce, when he was really, really young, like 15.
That's his dad's car.
No, well, he found it in the basement of the Wayne Enterprise. So
Oh, I just thought
he started souping it up and then do street racing. He got into street racing when he was younger. So he started making it faster and faster. Yeah.
Street racing.
It's like that's the book. Yeah, the book.
All right, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't.
I need a
listen to that
prequel.
shit.
That's why I'm saying it.
Fucking Dom Toretto out here in the
Fast and
streets.
Furious.
Bro.
No, because it's like a whole thing. It was like Alfred's like, you're running away from your problems. You got to start going to them. And then he started building the thing faster and faster. So he just started working on it. So that's like the whole backstory. Like he just found like a muscle car and started building it.
I was gonna
to
say,
make
so
it go
are
really
you
fast.
saying that his mobile in the movie is not? It's just like a fast car. It's not even a Batmobile.
Well, he soups it up, man.
Yeah, no, he's super. I mean, no, to be honest, it does not have no like from the book. It didn't say anything about him adding like bullet guns to it or like bulletproof. It was just fast.
I was gonna say, but you have to think about it. Oh, I don't. We can't go too crazy, but it's
Can
not
be like a tough. Maybe he added like bulletproof.
No, because it says
blades
no.
in
It says he takes everything that's to make a lighter to go fast.
It takes everything off to make it lighter. You're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's unrealistic.
I ain't gonna lie. That thing was moving. That thing
Yeah,
was moving.
It was moving. It was fast.
I liked how it
Had a
sounded.
jet
too.
engine in the back.
Yeah, I like how it sounded. It sounded very nice.
Also, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna spoil this. No, not spoil this. Not spoil
Please
it.
don't.
But I'm saying I'm gonna put a downer on this because my old man, tendencies were kicking in during that movie because I was like, oh, it's so loud.
Oh my
He
god.
did say that to me twice, and I was like, "You old fuck!" Shut up.
For real.
I was like,
But you know what I was thinking? I was like, "IMAX, bro. Sorry, It's
IMAX.
Sorry, bro.
I want my eyes to be maxed
He
out.
did at the end- at
I want
the
my eyes to
end.
be maxed out, not my ears.
At the end, he was like, "It was so loud, though."
Why did you do
Like, turn your hearing aids down, bro.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
No, one thing I will say that I do say, if you
The
haven't
shit was loud as fuck.
watched the movie,
It was like,
if you have
I
not
loved
watched the
it.
movie,
For
highly
no
recommend.
reason, like a motorcycle.
For real,
noise.
peeing before the movie.
Oh yeah.
And please be mindful because somebody boop boop
Oh, yeah.
got up during the movie, and that's okay. But I've never seen so many people get up during like
A
it's
couple
been a
people
long
did,
time.
yeah.
When it was like 4 or 5 people that got up.
I lasted 2 hours with a normal movie.
That's true.
left.
He leaned over. He was like, "Fuck, there's still a whole hour left."
Yeah, he was
He's
like,
like, "I gotta
"I
pee
gotta
so
go."
bad."
I gotta pee. What? Yeah, you drank your entire drink, bro.
It's true.
Before the movie
We
started.
didn't drink the whole
Oh,
drink.
so you didn't drink your drink?
I'm not the whole.
Hey,
before
I
the
was
movie
sipping
started.
on mine.
I was sipping
I
on
was
mine
sipping on
too.
mine because I was like, "There's no
I'll be
way."
thirsty. I don't know.
I feel that. I feel that. But I'm telling you,
Also, what was so bad about that day was that I got zero sleep the night before.
Yeah, dude. I look over at him.
hey,
I'm like, dude, wake up.
Hey, I wasn't gonna put him on the block, but dude, this guy, look, this
He
is
was
exactly.
about
I'm gonna tell you, look. And then you look. You were just. This is exactly what you hear. Like there's some shit would be going on, and like Zoe Kravitz in there, my Batman, all that shit, right? And this fucker, all you hear is. I was like, oh no, you're not gonna ruin this for me.
Wake up, dude.
Nah, I legit closed my eyes like 2 times, but it was like on boring scenes, not boring scenes, but like they were just talking, so I could just hear everything. I was like,
Yeah, yeah, he was listening with his eyes closed.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Also, that movie theater was fucking trash.
Oh, you talking about the seats? Can I be honest with you?
The seats were bad,
The seats
and
could be
also
updated.
Can I
think
don't-
about the bucket that we got. Can we show? Oh, you don't have something.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you showed that video with the other buckets
like a
from
tin
were
bucket.
way better.
If you guys,
Yeah.
okay, so if you haven't watched it or you rewatch it, go to AMC. AMC gets you the
helmet.
Batman cowl. It's his head as the popcorn bucket, and it's
Well,
like
even the tin one was
The
nice.
tin one was
yeah,
tight.
the tin one was nice. But again, this is at that was at
Regal.
and at AMC.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You would think that one would be like
Yeah,
be
for
nicer
fucking
stuff.
$26
Yeah.
fucking dollars, it better be
And
nice.
it's like a nicer theater, so I'm like,
Highly
Yeah,
recommend
and
going to
then
AMC.
The whole
for sure.
time watching this 3-hour movie, I feel like I'm in the middle seat of an airplane.
the seats
I was like-
are they could be updated better.
Okay, so that theater has been like that. I've gone to that theater when it was Silverado. when
Yeah,
it
the
changed.
seats
right?
haven't
So it hasn't
changed.
changed.
It has not changed, and I've been to that specific IMAX 13 theater, that one that we went to. Like I've seen Avengers there. We've been there for
we've
all
been there
the
so
Avengers.
long time.
I've done like movie marathons there. I've seen a bunch of movies there, and
But honestly,
they need to update it. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
because it's been I hadn't been there since it was Silverado,
yeah.
but it's been a while since I've been to a movie theater that they had those kind of seats. Almost every movie that I've been to.
AMC ones.
The
recliners.
Most
they've
theaters
had the big recliners now. You know?
Most theaters, what they've done is they just level all of it out, so they don't like it's not stacked anymore. They level it out, and everyone's on the same level. That way, you're not looking. Because that's the other thing too. We're at the point where just, bro, honest. This is my thing. Put us at the same level
and put it higher.
Yeah, you can move the fucking. You can change the screen.
I like how
the screen looked good, but the thing is, like, it's so small that, like, dude, I couldn't extend my feet because the dudes were you lean back a little bit.
Oh yeah, I definitely leaned over and I was about to kiss the dude on his head. I was about to.
Yeah, you're like on top of each other. The seats are small.
I dropped my wallet and shit because those fucking seats, the way they're angled, I dropped my wallet. I'm like, no. One thing that I don't understand, I'll never understand, and if you do this, don't go to the movie theater. Just stay the fuck home.
You do whatever you want. Don't listen to that.
No, if you sit in the very front and you're like this, looking at the screen,
I feel bad for you.
Dude, honestly, just don't go to the theater. Like, for what?
I've done that once.
I've done that multiple times.
I've done that one time.
I've done that once.
But we were in the recliner seats. We were in the recliner seats, so I could lean all the way back.
Yeah, you lay down.
If I'm sitting in the very front, I'm not even gonna go to the movies.
Nope.
Why?
Never.
Why? How blind are you?
I'm never doing that.
Dude, no.
You don't get the experience.
Absolutely
You're seeing
not.
their feet the entire time.
or you're like him, and you're like, it's so loud up here.
It's so loud
And bright.
If you're saying that, I get it. But like,
it's so loud, like 3 times, or like probably like 5 or 6 times. There's a scene where it's like fucking like the Batmobile scene when it comes out, and it's like, and I'm like, bro, that's so unnecessary.
Dude, I loved it.
I loved it.
Every time they ride a motorcycle,
I honestly was like, blow my eardrums out. I loved it. I had no problem.
There's no point to it.
Nah, it had.
So
it wasn't like an explosion. So
what are your ratings then?
Like out of 10?
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a 8.5. Like, it's good.
I gave it originally a 9 out of 10. I'd actually go up. I give it like a 9.6 out of 10. I think it was like around that. Yeah.
What are you giving all the Nolans then?
Nolan's 10 out of 10.
All of them? All 3 of them?
Respect. 10 out of 10.
like I give all of them.
If you watch, first of all, Batman Begins again. I compared it, but I watched.
I hated on the Batman Begins for a while.
I watched Batman Begins in the theater, and I didn't understand it as a young kid because I mean you have to think about when it came out. It came out a long time ago. I watched it in the theater and I was like, and I rewatched it and I was like, this is a masterpiece. Like, first of all, the scene of just him learning how to become like in the league and all that.
Whenever he gets initiated,
fantastic,
dude. You know,
he's
Batman
like
Begins.
Whenever he's like fear. No, when he was like a, oh no, that was in the Bane one.
What?
Where's the one with the line where someone says something about
Scarecrow says there's nothing to fear but fear itself. That
one? No, there's one where he's.
Are you talking about when he's?
I don't know.
You're talking about out of the hole.
There's one where he's fighting and they're like
fear is your enemy or something like that.
Yeah, fear. He's like,
youth has weakened you.
No, that's the Bane one.
Yeah,
no, there's one where he's like, the tricks are something for the uninitiated, and he's like, but we are both. That's in the Bane.
That's in Bane. Oh, that's when he's fighting in the sewer. He breaks that man's back. He blows his back out in the dark.
But y'all know I love.
He blows his back out in the dark.
He blows his back out in the dark, bro.
Yeah. What Batman movie is that?
Oh, that's the one I saw. Never mind. Never mind.
Hey, send me that.
Send me that link. Link.
So
in the chat.
I give it a 9.6.
You're giving all Nolan's 10?
10. Batman Begins again. That one just alone. If you put that movie on,
you're a little easy.
No, I'm being honest.
I'm not even influenced, bro.
What?
You're easily influenced.
You're a sheep. You're a sheep.
No, one thing. So, all right, give y'all's ratings, and then I want to go back to what I was talking about earlier.
I give the Batman an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Okay. A weak 8 though.
I liked it.
A weak 8.
I liked. I think it was a strong 8. Good week. No, 8.5. I was supposed to say 8.5.
Or no, 8 week 9. Really weak 9.
Really weak 9.
Yeah, really weak 9.
They said 9 point something. That's pretty high.
So the only reason the only reason why I give it that is because I've had time to sit. Because when I first watched it, I said 9, but really for real, if I'm being honest with myself, I was thinking like an 8 or 7. Because I was like, it just didn't hit.
There's something about it that was not.
It didn't hit. I didn't think it was bad.
I saw people saying greatest movie of all time.
No. So that's what I wanted to get at. I saw this guy that goes off, and I wanted to play it on here too on TikTok, and he goes, without a doubt, greatest superhero movie I've ever seen, greatest Batman movie I've ever seen, the greatest Batman you've ever seen. He just starts going off, and I'm like, oh, you're trying to get views on TikTok. Yeah. Like that's what this is for. Because he goes and says that he's like, there's not one. He's like, this ain't. He goes, this is word for word. He goes, this isn't fucking Marvel. And he goes and says that there's no cameos. And then I was telling Chelsea, I'm like, this has one of the biggest casts
Yeah.
ever. Like
Yeah,
I'm talking
in a
about
Batman movie. Well, besides
has-
Well, I'm saying, but if
In
you
the
just,
villains, he has
Robert
1,
Pattinson.
2, 3,
Oh.
4. He has like 5.
but I'm saying if you just ramble off all the
Characters that are
actors,
villains.
they're all big name.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I was
bro.
gonna say don't do it, but big name
They show
actors.
No.
It doesn't matter. There's big name actors in it.
Yeah.
In every respective role, there's a big name actor.
Aquaman's daughter.
Exactly. That's true.
Stepdaughter, my
Yes.
bad.
Stepdaughter. Yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
Zoe Kravitz. Yeah.
You were like, what?
I was watching it afterwards, and he was like, "No," because he's Jason Momoa was like, "Oh my, it's nice to have my I have my daughter, and then my, what is it, the sisters?" Because he's talking about Zoe Kravitz, and he's saying that she's there too, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, they're all like, okay, that's
Yeah,
weird." I
it
didn't
was
even,
kinda weird.
I didn't think
Yeah.
about that yet because he's
Wait,
dating her mom.
Yeah, her mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he was married, not dating. They were married. Oh, they're married.
Are they married?
Whatever. We're not TMZ.
Anyway, okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, that I think is a little OD because there's no way you can watch that movie unless you're just I'm just going to say, unless you're just a like fuckboy and you don't understand anything at all for you to just be like, that's a great movie. That's a little too much, I think. I think that's a little like too early to
it was
say.
a good movie. I think it was a good movie, but there's nothing spectacular about it.
No, to say that it's
Oh,
like,
no, it's not like
definitely,
game changer
it's
or
definitely,
anything.
like I said, an 8.5 because it's a strong beginning. I think once you have the trilogy out, then we can really, really judge it for what it is. Because I think that in the Nolan, I would give,
I agree.
I think they got better, in my opinion, just personally, from me, my opinion. I would say the first one is 8.5, second one's 9.5, last one was 9.8. Not perfect, but it was really good. I liked it.
I mean, this is also
where does I never watched the Ben Affleck Batmans.
okay, so Ben
I
Affleck's
asked him and then I
No,
didn't
No,
watch it.
I really haven't.
I've watched.
I watched some of them.
I watched all of his stupid, like weird, whatever, and I think he could have been a good Batman. But it's kind of in that same thing with Spider-Man, where you have each one individually
Different types.
does their own different thing. Because you have, if we're gonna go like examples, Ben Affleck looks visually he looks like a great beefy, like you want him Batman, right?
I was gonna say that because I never watched movies, but he looks like what I would picture a Batman to be.
That's kind of he looks in the cartoon.
I was gonna say in the
Yeah.
cartoon, and I love that because he can fight and he can do like all his things. Then you have Christian Bale, who he's that thinner Batman, but he has this.
He's swole.
Yeah, he has this thing about him though.
He's like Christian Bale is like a guy who would be like a UFC fighter.
But and then when
You
you
know
get
what
to
I'm
Robert Pattinson, he's kind of it's a weird. It's
Robert-
it's like Tom Holland.
I wish
he's,
he would've
he's
bulked
everything
up
you
more.
want. He's everything you kind of want in your. I agree with that. He's everything you kind of want because Ben Affleck. I was never scared of his Batman. Was I scared of the way he fought? Yeah, because he was killing people.
Oh, no,
he murdered
yeah,
people
for sure.
But,
Yeah, no, for sure.
but with Robert Pattinson, he kind of has that fear aspect about him that you do see in the movie that you're like,
The voice is
Yeah.
good.
I get it.
Oh, the voice. I really like it.
Did you notice-
Okay, the voice is better than Christian Bale.
Did you notice that he
Yes.
does the bad voice?
Yeah.
He did the bad voice. I'm not spoiling. He did the bad voice, and I was like, "You're really gonna?" He's like,
But you know what's
I'm like, "Whoa,
you know
buddy."
what, you know what's so funny though is about Robert Pattinson is that whenever he's in the suit, I really love the suit,
Yeah, I like to
The
see
suit
too.
was
I
great.
agree. Yeah.
and he looks big in the suit, big as fuck.
One,
But
uh-huh.
every time that he's without the suit,
He look
I feel
little.
like he looks like the Penguin,
Yeah.
more like you know how the Gotham Penguin
Yeah.
is, the skinny guy.
Yeah.
He looks more like he's playing one
Yeah,
of
that's
those.
what I'm saying.
nerdy
He should have.
characters.
I feel like he should have booked.
And then he has the emo looks all the time.
Yeah, I know.
It's just
That was
like-
the one thing I wasn't a fan of. He's young, so I guess fucking cut your hair, bro. But other than one
Someone
thing,
said, what did you say something about when he crashed a car, or he crashed, or he did something wrong, he messed up, and then they were like, "How did he not see that?" Somebody said that Chelsea, and I was like, "Oh, his bangs were in his."
bro. The one thing that
There was something that he did where everybody was like, "How can he not?"
my
see
guy
that?
banging My Chemical Romance in the Batmobile.
The one thing that I did like about him with his, and this is again, I'm gonna release this and say this, but it doesn't ruin the fucking story, is that there's a lot of times where, like Batman's there and you can hear him walking. I like that. Like that's like little subtle things. Like you hear him
Yeah,
like
I mean-
walking, like his
Yeah.
boots like walking in, and you're like, oh, because he was never really fast, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like he would always just kind of pull up on the boys and be like, I'm vengeance, and then just start beating the shit out of everybody.
No,
you
but there
know?
was
Yeah.
one where he was like, he ducked, he fought like 8 guys,
But-
like,
but-
ducking, hitting, knocking them down.
Yeah,
I no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
yeah,
we're
we're not,
talking
we're not,
a little
no,
too
no,
much,
we're not
bro.
gonna, we're not gonna
Okay,
do all
but
that.
what do you think he's gonna do the whole movie?
Listen, I will
I'm
say
just
this.
saying.
I did want to go through this a little bit. The fighting, and we won't go into all of Robert Pattinson's fighting because I did talk about it when we'll release it later. But that's what I want to get to with Affleck. Affleck's fighting, I would say, was more vicious looking. Like something was a little off about Robert Pattinson. You watch and you understand what I'm talking about when you watch the movie, but
I thought it looked good.
yeah, I didn't.
Well, there's a reason why. It's
No,
not
I
bad
mean,
thing.
I mean off. Like something's off with him in his head. Like he's a little, seems a little,
He's emo.
whatever.
The whole movie, he's emo.
You're not lying, but
Edis emo the whole time.
either
There's an.
is it from the
explanation.
audiobook that he's like that, or you're talking about just something
no,
I
I think
missed?
in the movie.
He explains it in the movie.
Yeah, they
Does
explain
he?
it in the movie. Yeah,
Oh, maybe I just missed it.
That's the character
I'll tell you
development.
afterwards.
Okay, yeah, I would have to. Anyway, either way,
Where do you rank him?
as far as what?
Batman's 2, 3, top 3? Is he top
No,
He's not over Bale.
Yeah, he's not over Bale. I don't think so.
3? Is he over George Clooney?
Keaton, Michael Keaton.
Keaton was a good Batman.
Who is
Keaton,
it?
I don't
you know
remember
what
that
though?
one too
When
much.
Keaton comes back and he's in the Flashpoint thing, a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, he's good. I liked him." Like he'll actually
What's
have
the
a cool little.
who's the one that's for like the Batman and Robin, Batman Forever?
That's Clooney.
That's Clooney. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm partial
the
to that. One.
titties.
The nipples.
Clooney has the titties.
Oh, the nipples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
The
Yeah,
nipples on
yeah.
that.
But that movie, I'm partial to those movies because that was like my childhood. You know.
Is that the one that he's wearing? He's wearing a.
It's real goofy.
Jordans,
that was
right?
real good. Yeah.
Is
No,
that the one? I
yeah.
think it's Clooney.
It's
Yeah.
like 14s or something like that.
No, I think
What
it's
do you
like.
mean it's goofy?
I think it's like yeah.
The Batman and Robin.
I don't think it's goofy.
It's
Yeah,
super fucking
dude.
goofy. Go back and watch that
I
shit.
gotta watch it again.
That's just goofy
Yeah,
as fuck.
dude. I'm about to say.
It's so goofy.
I like how people talk about how all the villains in those Batman movies were actually like good guys. Like Mr. Freeze was trying to stop global warming.
That's true.
Poison Ivy was trying to like fight like deforestation. She was like a hippie. I forgot what else. They're
Dang, they had that many villains. Those are good villains too.
yeah.
to have, like,
which
an-
I feel like Poison Ivy was cold as fuck.
They had a lot of play. Like
Well,
they were very
apparently,
joking.
he wants to. What's his name? Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves. Yeah.
He wants to.
What'd you call him at the theater? Andy Reeves.
Andy Reeves.
I called him Andy Reid.
Andy
He said
Reid.
Andy Reid.
I was
Andy
like,
Reeves.
I was
Oh, I
trying to
heard
figure out who you were
Reid.
saying. 'cause
Because
I'm
he was like, yeah, Andy Reid. I was like, oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes. And he was like, what?
So what were you gonna say? He wants.
I think he wants to do Mr. Freeze in the next movies.
That'd be cool.
I kind of, yeah.
I would actually like that.
that would be cool, but I feel like how would they do it? Because I was just praising the movie about having villains that are more realistic. And
Well,
I
they did it in the Gotham movie.
Huh?
In the Gotham series, they
Gotham
brought up Mr.
series?
Freeze.
But I'm saying, I don't know. So I don't
He
know
didn't feel
how would they
forced.
do it. Does he have like
Uh,
freeze powers, or does he have
He has like a gun.
It would just be it would just be his equipment,
kind of whack.
his stuff. I think it could be
Oh,
done.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think it could be done. Because that's one thing that I guess you have to like.
Poison Ivy would be really cool.
They should have. They should have.
yeah, Ivy would be cool.
They should have Bane, but make him a luchador like how he was.
Dude.
like how he's supposed to be.
He's
Yeah.
supposed to be for real.
That should have been cool.
Well,
Without,
that's gonna-
and without
with
like the
the-
stuff.
But I was gonna
with
say
the Vengeance
Just a
serum.
luchador mask and be
Nolan is his Bane is a technically he's a superhero. He just never really like admits or says like he can do. I mean, he's punching through shit.
Yeah, he
And-
punched a column.
Yeah,
old
and it just
ass.
breaks it and still is fighting. So it's like
he went
Yeah.
right through it. He
Yeah.
broke a man's back purposely to where he didn't kill him but paralyzed him.
He picks him up effortlessly.
he did pick him. It was beautiful.
That's easily the best scene of all of Batman movies, in my
Yeah.
opinion. That one, and then right closely behind it, that's 1A, and 1B is the Joker interview or the Joker
Yeah.
interrogation.
I agree. The fight in the Bane.
I actually would switch it. I would
You
say
would
that
switch it?
I would because the Joker
Yeah, fuck outta here.
No, because the Joker interview. If you watch any of the stuff that they talk about, Heath Ledger, he's actually hitting him, and Heath Ledger tells him, he's like, "Dude, go
oh
off."
no, I did see that.
He's like, "Go off. I want you to like."
he's telling Christian Bale to actually
To
It
hit
doesn't
him.
make it a good scene, though.
hit him.
Yeah, the fucking who's
No,
It
I
why?
doesn't
think-
change it. That's just
I
its
think-
context.
That literally makes it a
That's
better
like if I
scene.
serve you a drink, and you were like, it's all right. And then I was like,
Absolutely not.
oh, this drink is $10,000.
No, because-
And then you're going to go, oh, well, it's better.
It makes you appreciate the
Well, no,
art more.
'cause
It's
he,
the art
He
form.
technically would already really like the drink.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but if I send you a
And
drink,
you were like, oh, it was like a 500 aged
that-
whiskey. And you're like, yeah, I can tell it's really
Yeah,
good.
but it makes you. But this is all taking things like this is talking about like if you watched it from the first
all
go,
right, so what if I told you that Tom Hardy really punched that column and they went through it? Like,
then
That
I would
would be
appreciate the
hard.
scene more. Yeah, exactly.
That would be hard.
But what I'm saying is that's why
That's what I'm saying, it changes
but
your-
No, it
Alright,
doesn't
whatever.
because that's why people have behind the scenes because then they go because you already like Heath Ledger and then you see that and you're like, well, fuck, it was 10
you're
times
easily
better.
influenced.
Not even because you're literally enjoying
no,
it.
but I do agree
I'll fuck with you.
to that one.
Nah, I
It's
like
okay-
those
it's
two,
okay to be
those
surface
two
level
scenes.
movie.
Those
No
two
worries.
scenes are good. I like it. I like where the part where he's like, Never start with the head. It leaves all the.
We read those lines down here.
Oh, did you?
You sure did.
Yeah. Did a terrible.
Oh yeah, I
Joker
remember.
impression.
I read those.
Nolan called and told us to never do them again, but
He actually wrote us
you wrote a cease and desist. He said, "Are you ever doing shit
that
again?"
episode is not up anymore.
Disney came for you.
Better take it down.
Here they go for me.
Nah.
Did you just say Disney came for us?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you, dude.
Disney's notorious for that.
They probably
not-
are gonna buy DC soon. Watch.
But what do you call it? Yeah, I really like. I like the
I wish it was rated R.
It would have made more sense, right?
Yeah. Then I would have probably saw
Because the
Zoe
whole
Kravitz,
movie was the
you know?
sexual tension. It was very dramatic. It was very dark and mellow and low and gritty. And then it was like every outfit was like a gimp suit.
Oh yeah.
Every outfit.
Yeah. That's why I said Riddler was all like in his little gimp suit type stuff. So it looked kind of.
And then the sexual tension
Oh yeah, there was a lot
in
of
the
sexual
whole
tension.
movie.
I saw I
There's
saw
a
a
lot of people
TikTok.
talking to each other like this. Like
I saw a
real close.
TikTok that said like, if you could make any movie into a porn with the same cast, what would it be? And you just said Batman.
I was like,
this
there's Batman that just
I was
happened.
like, hey, you make a good point.
It's not even that the people are attractive. They just had a lot of good chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, leather, latex. It was like masked. Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, they had a lot of Nah, and again, y'all, everyone has seen him, so it doesn't matter. Did his mask look like his cowl? Did it look weird to you? Like his whole thing?
It looked fine.
His head looked kind of weird.
No, it looked dope.
I liked it.
Yeah.
The only
big
thing I
head.
kept looking at, his eyes look really good in it.
Like
His eyes are like really pop out.
you think he looked attractive in it? Like
No, like I feel like all the other Batmans are little eye slits were like a lot smaller, and I think his are like big, and that's why he wears the makeup.
he's the first one to actually show that he's
Well,
wearing
no, they
makeup.
all technically have like the black eyelids. They just when they take it off, it just.
But the
they
mask,
act
the
like they
slits
don't,
look
yeah.
really small like, of the mask.
No, I think the Michael Keaton one there because I saw somebody pointed out because he had it shaded in, and then it cut to the next shot like in the movie, that Michael Keaton movie. He takes it off and like it's gone.
It's like that.
I get what you're saying.
No,
Yeah.
but I was gonna say,
but you can actually see like the hole. In
all
his
the other
eyes.
Batmans are like that. He's the only one that he
Yeah.
actually shows that he's wearing black eye like makeup, which is, I mean, it's fine. You
That makes
fucking
sense,
are.
though.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense because he's emo.
That's kind of
show
like that's
that.
kind of what they did with the Joker. They were like, it would make sense for this dude to paint his face, like
Yeah.
himself, because he had like the. They said that he would paint his face and have like paint under his nails and on his hands.
Yeah,
so-
from him doing it. Yeah.
So it makes complete sense.
So I'm assuming we all recommend everyone to go watch the movie, right?
No, I don't.
No,
I don't promote- I don't
bad
promote-
movie.
I don't promote capitalism.
Watch the first Catwoman.
Watch the.
You know that movie came out 3 years before Batman Begins. That's a crazy jump.
Exactly. I'm glad they didn't use her.
That's terrible. Holly Berry.
Halle Berry
That's
Catwoman.
not the original Batman. I mean Catwoman.
Well, that's what.
But
I,
like he's
that's
saying it was so
standalone.
close.
That's
It was so
standalone.
close, yeah.
Bro, do you think? Hey, look,
Such a bad movie.
No,
Not gonna lie, I used to really like those growing up.
What? You like Electra?
I used to like the Daredevil, the first Daredevil. I used to love that movie.
Electra. He liked Electra.
I loved Elektra, and I used to like the old Catwoman because Halle Berry was in it. I used to like all of them trash films.
I can't believe you.
If you like Holly Berry, then just watch Swordfish.
Well, I was like 14. No, not even. What?
Swordfish?
I was like, what?
Anyways,
I'm listening to what he's saying about.
Yeah, I
this
know
shit.
it's bad.
Ugh.
But do you think? Okay, think about it. Really, there's a standalone Catwoman movie.
I saw one of y'all make a fate. Oh no, that's gonna get into spoilers.
Yeah, it was him.
I was about to.
Huh?
No,
But-
we're talking about it.
I didn't say nothing.
Because I was about to say a spoiler.
If
But
there's a standalone Catwoman movie and Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman, do you think it'd be good?
probably not.
Probably not. Right. Who would you trust to do?
Oh
a
wait, hold on.
standalone?
Can I be honest with you? I actually think it wouldn't be bad, but they have to do someone else, and it's like just bleep. But they need to.
Black Widow. Bang! Stop, bro. Black Widow. No. Black Widow. Whoa! You're a wild boy. Black Widow. Hey, just finished. Alright, I'm gonna restart it. No, leave it, please. I'm not.
It'll probably be like the Black Widow type movie.
But the Black Widow was corny because they shot her during COVID and it was like really bad.
I don't know. Maybe Zoe Kravitz might carry it.
Well,
I don't think she's
the
her
only
looks
thing
that
that I was
strong
gonna say is
actress.
for it to work is that because
who would you use? Who
well, I
would
was
be
gonna say
your
is you
fan choice?
can either sub in like Batman little by little in the movie and kind of have that going, or
no,
have
Batman.
or have a like Batgirl, or have someone else in. You know what I mean?
What I don't think
Or
in
like
the
a Robin
comics
or
wise,
something.
she never really had like a standalone thing, but she would do with the. She would always go into comic books with Harley and Poison
Yeah.
Ivy.
No,
I was gonna
it'd
say
definitely be
on
forced.
Gotham, they kind of hint towards Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
No, they're both kids.
Yeah.
So I would watch a Poison Ivy Batman, Catwoman movie.
Yeah, like them
Where
three.
it's like, and it would be like a kind of like a Harley Quinn shit, where it's like a anti-hero type thing.
Kind
I
of like Birds
guess.
of Prey, but better.
But like actually a good movie.
Who would the
Yeah.
actress be you would want Catwoman to be? Batwoman.
I
I
like
like Zoe Kravitz.
I like Zoe
Zoe
Kravitz.
Kravitz?
I think
Yeah.
honestly, like like y'all were saying, like okay, so Anne Hathaway has her weird sex appeal thing that she tries to like
Weird?
give off. Not weird, but just has her thing. Whatever.
You like Anne Hathaway?
I
sexually.
really like Anne Hathaway.
Oh, me too.
Sexually.
brother.
Yeah, she
Oh, yeah, me
was
too.
a great Catwoman. I'm just
Well,
gonna
that's
be
'cause you
real.
look like Shakespeare. That's why.
She was a great Catwoman,
Oh,
but
my hair.
Zoe Kravitz did something. And there was a lot of leather in there. Now I think about it. She was
Well,
wearing
she
leather.
wears a
suit
whole
was
latex
whole leather.
suit.
No, I'm talking about even after when she wasn't wearing the
She
like
had the
suit.
boots.
In general, all her fits were like something leather related. Did you not realize that? Like all her suits, all her shit.
You
that
just
she was
said
wearing.
it wasn't leather.
I said it was.
Oh, I thought you said it wasn't leather.
I said it was like that
I wish there was
leathery
more
like
latex.
latex is what I mean to say.
No, I
probably.
wish there was more latex.
Okay, that's all right. Well, anyway,
You can't make faces. Nathan kept making faces whenever actual cat was in the scene.
it was bothering me.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
It
I
was
wanted to say
bothering me.
nothing,
No,
but-
I'll say it. I don't give a fuck. It's not gonna ruin any. It's no character
physically like was
development.
He was like, cat. Yeah, there's a cat. Yeah, cat. Her Catwoman cat. That's too corny.
No. Okay,
I did look over. He was
it
like,
was stupid.
he was like,
It was so
why do I see
stupid.
cats?
Why is there a cat?
And then also,
why does Catwoman have cats?
it was dumb.
Are
And
they
then, okay,
slaves?
fine. You know what? I'm gonna spoil this. I don't fucking
No,
care.
don't
No, I'm
spoil
gonna
it.
spoil it.
I'll
Why,
cut it out.
why was she drinking milk?
Oh, that's another scene. Oh my god, dude.
No, leave it in.
That was a corny.
I'll
too.
That
leave it
shit pissed me when I saw that. And then a little cat walks by and she's like, purr, drinking her little fucking stupid
She
milk.
didn't say purr.
She didn't say purr.
idiot.
I was like, this is the stupidest fucking
I knew
thing
you
ever.
hated that.
Hey, I kept
It was
thinking,
so
Halle
funny.
Berry, Halle Berry, Halle Berry. This is so dumb. This is so dumb.
Dang.
I liked it.
You comparing her to Holly Berry?
No, she's better than Halle Berry.
I started
think.
meowing like ferociously.
What if they would
I
have
was
had?
like,
What if they would have made?
meow, meow, meow.
What if they would have made
Give me
Kristen
milk, meow.
Stewart Catwoman?
Yo, I would have walked out of the theater.
Hey, what's wrong with your head, bro?
Yeah, for what's wrong with your head for real?
That's kind of how low-key Batman's performance is. It's a tribute to Kristen
Can
Stewart.
I be honest with you though?
Because he's just like,
I think he brought a little bit of Twilight to Batman, and I'll leave it at that. I'll let everyone watch the movie and understand what I'm talking about. But he brought a little bit
That's
of Twilight because even in his facial expressions, he does not have emotion. And I know Batman doesn't have emotion, but like he had his moments where I'm like, bro, smile or something.
he was moody the whole time. He had the hair going.
He was moody, sad the whole
was
time.
emo.
He had
Yeah, it
no-
was emo.
That's what I don't like about this movie. Because usually, I mean, you could tell from the extended scene that came out before the movie with the funeral. He's very he's the same.
yeah.
And what I like about like Batman is, well, from like the
I know you're gonna say.
iterations of it is like
He can pretend.
there's like a disconnect.
Yeah.
Well,
like-
also
Like Bruce,
Batman's one thing and Bruce is
the
another.
Playboy.
Bruce is like the mask of Batman,
Right.
Mhm.
and this one it's just all Batman.
That's how he is. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. There's a
'cause
part where
Bruce is his alter
he's
ego.
I think it's because
He's
he's still
not
learning
wearing the
though. That's
suit.
what that is.
he's not wearing a suit and he's still acting like Batman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
You're
started
right,
thinking it
you're
was
right.
like,
I didn't think about that.
bro, how would they're like, how would people not notice this billionaire who acts moody and never shows around, not know that this is
One
Batman?
thing- one
And
thing
also,
though-
he interacts a lot away, and compared to other Batmans, he interacts a lot more with other people because he's the police or whatever.
Mhm.
So there's a
Yeah.
lot more times of him just talking to people,
He does talk a lot.
you know, with
Yeah.
people.
He does have a lot of interaction,
You
but
know.
we'll leave it at that. We don't want to go into any other, you know.
So you're right. How would they not notice? Like,
Yeah,
Well, the one thing
or
I
maybe
would,
because when the suit on, he looks fucking 250.
Jacked.
no, his
Yeah, that's
well,
true.
And when
one
he's out the
thing.
suit, he looks 120.
Can I be honest? One thing that I would notice right away, his jawline. If you see Batman and
I was
you see
thinking
his
that too. I was like, what
jawline,
is that?
yeah, you'd absolutely be able to
Hey, what if
notice.
it's like COVID and he has to wear a mask and it's like, I know it's you.
oh my god,
the mask is on your mouth, not your eyes.
Never mind.
so dumb.
The only part that does
Cut! We're done.
The only part that does show he's covered.
We're done. We're done.
But yeah, we talked
Anyway.
about Batman all the way. I do recommend watching it though. It's pretty good.
I recommend watching it. Either whether you go now or you go
watch it right now, like as soon as you cut this off, and then that way in like 2 or 3 episodes we can talk about what actually happened.
The next episode we're talking about what happened.
2 or 3 episodes is a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
We probably could.
Next episode we're gonna be talking about it. So I definitely highly recommend you going out and watching it.
We'll try to have guests on next.
What's the next thing coming out from
DC? What are the Flash? Is it Flash or Aquaman?
Aquaman. I don't want to see that shit.
No. I don't have a bunch of stuff coming out.
Oh,
Aquaman,
it's Black Adam. Black Adam's was coming out next.
Yeah, all of that. Black Adam should be interesting.
Well, because Marvel has stuff coming out too, right?
Not for a while, except Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is Multiverse of Madness is in.
When is it?
Oh, Morbius. More BS from Marvel.
More BS for real.
That movie looks good. What's wrong with it?
Yeah, it looks pretty.
When does Blade come out?
It's Jared Leto, dude. Honestly,
Blade hasn't even had a trailer yet.
Yeah, Blade's not coming out for a while. Blade? What?
They did his
Blade's
voice
not coming
though
out for a while.
on
his voice was on Eternals.
Yeah, Eternals.
Did
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
You didn't know that?
I know something more than you didn't know. But
Dang, when Skip
whenever Jon Snow grabs the sword,
Skip.
Oh, that was
when
his
Skippy,
voice.
Yeah, he picked it up. He's like, "Are you ready for that sword?" I don't know.
Ready for that?
How? Do it again.
Are you ready for that sword?
That's really bad. Don't do
You
that
sound like
anymore.
Donald Trump more.
I don't know how he sounded.
Everybody's on Donald Trump to Chris.
Yeah, he came out.
It's all right.
I like it.
Don't forget to follow us. I guess we're closing it out now, right? Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at @mpodcast_ and at Twitter at @MP_podcast. You can find all of our links to all of our socials on there, on the bios. Our links to the YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans, whatever, you know.
So yeah, like Chris was saying, guys, this is a Batman-filled episode. We obviously, appreciate you guys tuning in. Go to all the socials. The TikTok is another thing that we're still I'm kind of working on the algorithm a little bit. I got to stay on it. No, I've lost it. It's like gone. But anyway.
I'm going to send you like social media classes for you to take.
I've been using my hashtags and it hasn't been working. I'm trying, guys. Just bear with me. The most important thing is share the fucking TikTok. Share it. But other than that, guys, we appreciate you guys for listening to another episode and we'll see you guys on the next one.